Hey everyone, this is smpratte, and today we're going to talk about the insane pull rates happening right now in modern Pokemon. I talked about how the printers were going Brrr and Pokemon added more supply that was definitely needed for modern English. We're fully out of the Scalper saga and there's plenty of product available now to purchase. However, the pull rates are also going Brrr. The pull rates today are just over 9,000. It is insane the amount of product you have to open to try and complete a set. If you missed it, the recent Astral Radiance had a snapshot, I think from TCG Player somewhere. Someone opened about 8,000 packs, which, yeah, you could say the sample size isn't deep enough to get like 100% data. But even if we go with like the most conservative like ballpark that was there, you're talking like 1 in 400 packs, or even like 1 in 300 packs to get one card, one of the alt arts. And alt arts couldn't be any more beautiful. I think that's probably the safest opinion that I could say that we'll all agree on is that alt arts just look phenomenal. Like you have the Machamp hanging out in the city. Like it has so much personality. You got like little people in the background. It's just such a clever design. Misty just relaxing with Starmie. I think the Palkia has like the MC Escher style going on. Like these are all fantastic concepts. However, you have to rip through like pallets of product to even attempt to complete the set. And I've talked about this before in the past, but I have some new ideas to go through here that I think will actually please a lot of the big speculator, hashtag investor culture that's happening right now with modern Pokemon. Because I think these pull rates are actually going to help out people who are speculating the product, which we'll get into that. But to start with, I've talked about before, back in the day, if I ripped open that base box back there, I could get like 80% of that set done in one box. Honestly, with like most WotC sets, within a few boxes, you're good to go. You're probably going to get every single card you need and plenty of extras. Where now, if you open up a whole case of these modern sets like Astral Radiance, and who names these sets, by the way? Like, who's deciding these names? Like, why do we got to make them so extra? So if you open up Astral Radiance right now, a case of it, you might get one single alt art. One single alt art. So that's the situation we're dealing with. And the interesting thing with the pull rates going Brrr and also added quantity is that the pull rates kind of tether the added quantity. So before, when I was talking about the risk of investing in modern is you're buying popularity over product. However, these insane pull rates really tether that. They're like a counterbalance. And it's weird because what you're left with is somewhat of a modern sports vibe. So if you're not familiar with modern sports, how a lot of those sets work is it's all about the RPAs, all about the refractors, it's all about the chase cards, all about the 1-1, the 1-10, the 1-50, the 1-100. That's what you're going for. That's what you're throwing the old rod into the ocean to catch, is one of those big chase cards. This is very similar to that, where if you are a speculator, investor, whatever it is, and you're trying to make money on holding modern sealed product, the thing that's really boosting that right now and making it more successful are these insane pull rates. So it's frustrating for collectors trying to complete a set, but for speculators, gamblers, investors, whatever you want to call it, it does add a balance there. It balances out the added supply. And for me, what that does is we're flirting more with changing the goal of being a collectible into being more of a gambling, speculating experience. Now, I know the booster pack experience has always been somewhat of a gambling element to it, right? You pull a Charizard, you lose your mind. You pull, item finder, and you're like, where's the Charizard? Like, let me use this item finder to get that Charizard. So that's always been around. We've always had the element of gambling, if you will, or I guess, the pull rates, where now I think the difference is they're so insane because not only do you have the insane pull rate, like rarity category, you have like a whole roster in there as well. It's not like back in the EX era where you got your 1 gold star or 2 gold stars, maybe 3 gold stars in the entire set. And within that, you only have like 2 other rare categories. Like now you have like common, uncommon, rare, full arts, flat Vs, hyper rare, secret rare, alt arts. Like there's so many categories, and each one of those categories isn't just one card. So where does that leave us? It's great for people who want to do the common, uncommon, rare binders. You are sitting pretty right now. It's never going to be cheaper than it is today because you're going to have so many cards, like for example, the Pikachu in Celebrations, the one where he's hanging out in the jungle with Caterpie over his shoulder and Oddish in the foreground. That's going to be like 10 to 20 cents for like life. Like that card is going to be cheap for a long time because the added product, you know, of people trying to chase and get those certain cards, like with modern sports, that leaves you with a ton of base stuff. So in modern sports, going back to that, everyone ripping everything open to get those chase cards, the base cards is what they would call them, they're just basically worthless. But the difference is in Pokemon, people like that. Like weirdos like me will put this little Voltorb here that's worth maybe like 10 cents and the same shot as like, you know, Tropical Wind or Unicarp or whatever, you know, very expensive item, because that to me has the same value. You know, I really just love the art. And I think that's the good news here for collectors who are trying to do binders, is that you can do common, uncommon, rares cheaper than ever. And these things are going to stay cheap. Like this combination of added product in the market with insane pull rates is just like, it's like a nuclear bomb. Like it's just going to keep producing the same situation we're in. Like it's really a different territory or landscape we were in before. Because like, let's go to Roaring Skies. Like Roaring Skies is now what, like 5 years old? And I remember when they did a reprint for that, because Shaman was really playable, that was like the poster child for like this whole, you know, speaking of uncharted territory, like Pokemon's like, yeah, we're going to throw in a whole new wave of product. And if you open up that case of Roaring Skies, you're going to get that Shaman. You're probably going to get multiple Shamans. You know, you'll be good to go with one booster case. Where again, one booster case of Astral Radiance, you maybe get one Altart out of the roster of Altarts. And then you got your roster of Hyper Rares and so on. So again, I think this balance here, it's actually something I didn't pay enough attention to until seeing that image on E4 that someone shared of the recent pull rates. Because not only was it the pull rate, but also the amount of alt arts, which again, couldn't be any better. Like whoever decided to do the alt art designs, give them a raise. Like it's beautiful. Like these cards are what every collector has wanted for a long, long time. It's just fantastic. I want to do an alt art binder. It's on the smpratte to-do list. So yeah, you're getting just not only the mixture of insane pull rates and the roster, but also beautiful art. I mean, that's the perfect storm. And that's why you have this situation where people can go out and stonk on, you know, certain ETBs or whatever it is. You know, going back to the other video where I was trying to caution people, it wasn't saying that modern is a bad investment. I have a bit of everything. You know, I buy anything Pokemon. It's just, you got to know what you're getting into. And what it used to be for the longest time with modern is you buy this stuff and you got to wait, like with evolutions. And Japanese typically went up faster because it was more scarce. So you were always like, you know, balancing the rarity, scarcity scale there. Where now it's more about, why are people messing with modern? And in my opinion, it's become more of a gambling speculation item. And I'm not saying that to throw the baby out the bathwater. I don't think it's anywhere near modern sports, because going back to like what you do in modern sports, you rip it, you throw away the base cards, no one cares about them. Where in Pokemon, we out here. Like base cards are out here. Like we love that stuff. I have so many of those Pikachu cards. I don't know what I'll ever do with them. I don't know if I ever sell them. I just like getting them in the mail. Like someone sent me one the other day, an extra in one of the purchases I made. I was like, yeah, this put a smile on my face. Like this is different in Pokemon than it is in sports. So it is uncharted territory. This is going to be interesting to see. I do think the takeaway here is that this extra challenge of these insane pull rates going Brrr really like is a counterbalance to the printers going Brrr. Like it tethers it, if that makes sense. Because back in the day, printers going Brrr means, okay, well, there's just a lot more downward pressure, which I agree that's still happening. It's just the pressure, I think, is a lot less. So yeah, this is probably good news for, you know, people trying to invest in modern or flip modern or do whatever. It's not the scalping day anymore of like botting out an item and, you know, flipping it on eBay. It's more about like the people who just want to get that card. Like they want to get the chase cards. And when they're so beautiful, like this is why it all comes together, is because these cards are so good. Like you couldn't make them any better. Like they're like the dream child of what you'd want for a card. Like it's, every time I see them, I'm like, this is the person who's making this understands. Like they're speaking to me. I don't know them, but they know me. Like they know what I want. And so yeah, it's really the perfect storm right now for modern. This is somewhat of like add-on to the previous videos I did where I talked about, you know, the risk of modern, and some of that was based on like the past of evolution and you know, the Roaring Skies era and things like that, even up until alt arts really started to debut. I think alt arts are really the thing here that are driving so many people into this. Like EV Heroes, everybody wants an EV Heroes reprint. Why? Because they want to get the alt arts. You know, so what's that going to do? That's going to just expedite the price of the boxes of EV Heroes. So if you're someone who's like trying to make money on it, yeah, it's going to just add fuel to that fire. So Anyway, that's what I have right now. Pull rates are going Brrr as well, and it's interesting because it's creating this like reaction of counterbalancing the added supply, which is honestly, even for me, it was a bit of a curveball. I didn't see it coming until I saw that picture, and I was like, you know what? This is like why modern is just exploding right now. It's because you have this beautiful art, very tough to pull, not just one card like Gold Stars, a whole roster of cards. So when you add that in to this add supply, you know, it's just not enough. I don't think added supply is the one variable answer anymore. I think what you need are less alt arts per set. You know, if you want to close the gap on spending and taking out a loan to complete a set by opening it yourself, you have to just trim down the amount of alt arts in that roster to like, you know, handful to a couple, like they did with Gold Stars. That would probably be the answer to making it more cost effective for collectors. Otherwise, I think it's just going to remain the same as to keep doing this. Pokemon's got to print like 10x the amount that's out there now. Like they got to really just print it into the ground. But even then, you have these crazy pull rates. They're just going to keep those, you know, keep that chase alive. So yeah, there you go. That's what I have for the pull rates going Brrr. It's a very interesting time right now for Modern. It's a lot of fun. I'm having more fun with Modern today than I think I did for a long time. These alt arts are such a breath of fresh air for everybody. And yeah, I think that's the current situation. It's great for collectors for common, uncommon, rares, but when you get to the alt arts, you're just like, do I want to spend $1,000 on this Umbreon Japanese VMAX? Yeah, it's got 4 different textures. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, E4 pulled it one night, which is unreal. One of the best pulls I've seen. But yeah, that's where we are. That's the current situation with Modern. So, as usual, guys, you know the deal limit I feel. I hope you enjoyed the little background there. That was me attempting to find one alt art, and this is the remains. That's all the rest of the cards that come from trying to get one single alt art. So, there it is. You know the deal limit I feel. That's pretty much it, guys. Until next time.